All right, now we're going to get into the description of heat transfer. So at the macroscopic level, three things need to be true. One, objects need to be in contact. You can't transfer heat if it's not touching. Two, objects need to be at different temperatures in order for heat to be exchanged. Three, the lower temperature object increases in temperature and the higher temperature object lowers in temperature. So this is what we would see at the macroscopic level. This is what we see with our eyes. So as an example, we have this hot plate and room temperature hand. So the guy's touching it and getting heat to transfer from the plate to his hand. So heat will flow from the hotter metal plate to the cooler hand, causing the hand to increase in temperature and the metal plate to decrease in temperature. Heat always transfers from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. So we want to really describe the idea of what happens to the temperature of both objects, not just one of them. Now for the atomic side, things are similar but different. First, the particles need to collide. So that means they need to be in contact in some way, but remember they're moving all over the place. Two, before colliding they travel some speed. Remember, particles have kinetic energy, not temperature. They have some speed, like we've modeled before. Three, after colliding, the lower kinetic energy particle will move faster than before, and the higher kinetic energy particle will move slower than before. Now, heat transfers from the higher kinetic energy particle to the lower kinetic energy particle. So when colliding, that lower kinetic energy hand particles will increase in speed, and the higher kinetic energy metal plate particles will slow down. You see, I can sometimes be very formal in saying like increase in speed, but I can also be very casual and say will slow down. Same concepts apply. So as long as we're saying the same ideas, we can say them a little differently. That's all right. So remember, when it comes to the atomic part, we're talking about kinetic energy. Like the lower kinetic energy particle will speed up, and the higher kinetic energy particle will slow down. So we identify them by kinetic energy, and we talk about their speeds. Over on the macroscopic side, we talk about the objects. The lower temperature object increases in temperature, while the hotter object decreases in temperature. So over here we're talking about the object, whether it be like the hand and the metal plate, and temperature. That's how we describe the objects in the macroscopic world. All right. Next, we're going to move on to the explanation, and this can be sometimes the most challenging part, but it also is very systematic and organized. Let's take a look.